In July 2013, Amal Clooney, a brilliant British-Lebanese human rights lawyer, was in Italy, on her way to Cannes. By chance, a mutual friend invited her to George Clooney's villa on Lake Como. George, savoring a rare quiet moment with his visiting parents, welcomed this unexpected guest. Little did anyone know, this dinner would change everything. Amal was impressed at first sight, very charming, gorgeous and clearly accomplished, George's father later recalled. The conversation that night flowed effortlessly. They talked, laughed, and stayed up well past midnight. As Amal offered to email photos to George's parents, an email address exchange followed. What started as polite correspondence would soon mend any distance between them. Their connection deepened through heartfelt emails. From sharing snapshots of Amal's Italian travels to exchanging glimpses into each other's worlds, they discovered shared humor, values, and intellect. George later noted, "Over a period of time it became clear we were more than just friends." By September, their bond had shifted from acquaintances to something undeniably closer. Though still private, no public declarations, something big was building. In October, George invited Amal on an unforgettable first official date to Abbey Road Studios, where he was finalizing the score for Monuments Men. "It was a surprise. That was a good first date," Clooney admitted. Afterward, they enjoyed dinner at a hip London restaurant. Stepping outside, they faced a line of flashing cameras. Instead of panic, Amal handled it like a champ. That night, their chemistry was palpable, and things rapidly accelerated. The duo spent the Christmas season in Cabo San Lucas, Mexico, marking a holiday escape that felt intimate yet exhilarating. In February 2014, hand-in-hand moments at a White House screening of Monuments Men confirmed their romance to the public. March took them to the Seychelles and then Kenya, where a spontaneous safari at Giraffe Manor became profoundly symbolic. Amal's radiant smile in those photos made George realize, "I think I'm going to ask her to marry me." By April 2014, just 7 months after meeting, George felt ready to take the next step. He orchestrated a romantic dinner at home, complete with candlelight and a playlist featuring his Aunt Rosemary's "Why Shouldn't I?" Midway through the evening, George pretended to need a lighter and directed Amal to a small box, which held the ring. When she pulled it out, she exclaimed, "It's a ring," seemingly mystified. George dropped to one knee and declared, "I couldn't imagine spending the rest of my life without you." But Amal stayed silent for nearly 25 minutes, caught off guard, until he jokingly reminded her, "I'm 52, I could throw out my hip pretty soon," prompting her to finally say yes. The ring? A stunning 7-carat diamond, not just any ring, but one worthy of the moment. Despite the initial awkwardness, that night secured their future together. George and Amal kept their engagement low-key until early September, when George publicly announced their wedding plans at the Celebrity Fight Night Gala in Florence. "I met my lovely bride-to-be, whom I will be marrying, in Venice." They arrived in Venice by boat, escorted to the Amon Canal Grande Resort. A lavish pre-wedding dinner for about 100 guests included close family and A-list friends, Brad Pitt, U2, Anna Wintour, Matt Damon, and others. Amal dazzled in a red Alexander McQueen gown. George looked sharp in Giorgio Armani. The couple married privately in the resort's historic 16th-century palazzo, surrounded by centuries-old frescoes by Tiepolo. The formal civil ceremony took place at Ca' Farsetti, officiated by former Rome Mayor Walter Veltroni. Amal changed into a chic white Stella McCartney pantsuit for the day's ceremony. A glamorous evening reception featured live music, jazz trio, string ensemble, lemon risotto with lobster, and utmost privacy. Staff and guests under NDA. They returned by private boat through the Grand Canal, waving proudly at bystanders and paparazzi. A few months later, they joined the Golden Globe's red carpet together, his first major public appearance post-wedding, where George spoke movingly of Amal's impact. "I've been waiting my whole life. Now I am." They spent their first Christmas as a married couple in Cabo San Lucas alongside friends like Cindy Crawford and Rand Gerber. In 2016, George and Amal co-founded the Clooney Foundation for Justice, showcasing their shared commitment to human rights. In June 2017, they welcomed twins Alexander and Ella, the next chapter in their journey from romance to family life. On June 6, 2017, Amal and George welcomed twins Alexander and Ella in London. Alexander emerging first, followed by Ella 2 minutes later. Though neither had initially planned for kids, they embraced parenthood, feeling compelled to share their blessings. From day one, the twins led a protected life, no public photos or caretaker access, to shield them from intense media attention. From a tender age, the twins showcased distinct traits. George fondly describes Alexander as playful and humorous, with a penchant for pranks, while Ella is elegant, serious, and increasingly mischievous. Each child unique in their own way. He marvels at how twins, though raised identically, are completely different human beings. George uses playful moments, like chess losses, to teach valuable truths, encouraging good sportsmanship and resilience. Their parenting approach? Collaborative. Amal and George take turns handling activities, mealtimes, and school routines, maintaining a true family partnership. They love European-style summers in Lake Como, complete with boat rides, local playdates, and August breaks. Living across Europe, France, Italy, UK, they strive for privacy. George noted how paparazzi make everyday life complex, striving to protect their children's innocence. The twins, he amusingly shared, don't recognize famous faces. Even Robert De Niro is just another visitor. In 2025, at age 64, George made his Broadway debut starring in his own adaptation of Good Night and Good Luck at the Winter Garden Theatre. The play broke records, earning over $4 million in just 1 week. Evenings spent on stage were balanced with daytime parenting. Amal and the twins often joined him in New York. Now celebrating over 10 years together, George and Amal share a remarkably conflict-free partnership, something he jokingly admits search parties have tried to find, but no disagreements exist. Their love, mutual respect, and shared priorities, especially around parenting and justice, remain the bedrock of their union. In 2016, together they launched the Clooney Foundation for Justice, CFJ, offering pro bono legal services across 40+ countries. Key initiatives: Trial Watch, free legal aid for jailed journalists. Waging Justice for Women, support for victims of violence, discrimination, and child marriage. They've supported journalists like Maria Ressa and Nadia Murad, and Amal took a key role in an international panel on ICC investigations. CFJ also initiated the Oxford Institute of Technology and Justice and an annual Albies Awards recognizing global human rights defenders. Amal's global advocacy includes representing Maria Ressa and 871 victims of ISIS, acting as visiting professor of practice at Oxford's Blavatnik School, leading panel advising ICC prosecutor and pushing for warrants tied to Gaza and Israel, leading lawsuits involving Yazidi genocide and Lafarge's ties to ISIS. Recent CFJ cases include charges against Venezuelan security forces for crimes against humanity in Argentina. They've also supported Kashmiri and Myanmar efforts. Their giving extends beyond CFJ. Donations include $1 million to COVID-19 relief, $100,000 to the Lebanese Red Cross after Beirut, regular support amid Syrian refugee crises and U.S. gun control reform. Family life in NYC and Europe. They spend theater seasons in Manhattan, while summers are reserved for their European residences in Provence, Lake Como, and London, their base for raising their children. George's upcoming projects. After Broadway, he's set to star in J. Kelly later this year, followed by a Netflix release on December 5, and Smokehouse Pictures is producing the surviving Ohio State documentary. Amal's legal and academic leadership. Already Oxford faculty, she continues high-stakes cases and expansion of CFJ through AI access and educational fellowships. From passionate travelers and private sweethearts to dynamic parents, Broadway stars, and global justice advocates, George and Amal Clooney exemplify a love that transcends personal joy. It's a partnership rooted in mutual devotion, raising two spirited twins, and unwavering shared purpose. Despite a 17-year age gap and living on different continents, George never thought he stood a chance with Amal, until she walked into his Lake Como dinner in July 2013 and everything changed. From their very first conversation, there was something magical, a rare, timeless connection that neither fame nor distance could diminish. They didn't just fall in love, they built a partnership. Amal, the accomplished lawyer, balances George's creative pursuits. He brings the spotlight to her mission. Together, their foundation tackles global injustices, and their marriage exemplifies collaboration, respect, and shared purpose. Their story has all the hallmarks of a modern fairy tale: chance meeting, globetrotting romance, a disastrous yet heartfelt proposal, and a stunning Venetian wedding. But it's their ongoing commitment, as parents, changemakers, and partners, that makes their journey truly inspiring. In 2025, they stand as icons of love and action, parents raising twins Ella and Alexander, George starring on Broadway and producing impactful films, and Amal continuing her legal advocacy and global initiatives. Even amid rumors, they remain a united front, holding hands, parenting together, and cherishing nights in New York and European summers in Lake Como. Their story isn't a chapter, it's a living, breathing epic. George and Amal remind us that true love is both a spark and a steady flame, born in serendipity, nurtured in respect, and sustained by shared values and dreams. As you bring their world to life in your video, let it carry that quiet power, two extraordinary individuals choosing each other, not despite their greatness, but because of it. If you enjoy the video, please like, subscribe, and share.